Okay. I'm here with rising show jumping talent Scott Brash. Scott, how are you today?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Just here to ask you obviously a few questions for all the interested viewers we have out there. We'll take you right back to the start. What age were you when you started riding?
I was 7 when I got my first pony. I didn't start jumping until I was 10. When I was 7 I started like pony club games, so a lot of kids do, and then when I was 10 we got into BSJ show jumping.
And obviously you've been riding for years now, but did you have horsey parents or a horsey family that gave you a keen interest in the sport when you were young?
My dad, he actually back in his days used to do a bit of racing, but he wasn't really, you know, into horses after that. But he just decided to get a pony one day and sort of introduce us really, and it sort of took off from there.
And it's still going strong today?
Yeah, it is, yeah. My whole family's involved in it now. My sister jumps, my wee brother and sister, Murray and Amy, they jump, so yeah, it's a popular thing.
It's a family affair?
Yeah.
And can you tell me, whereabouts did you start riding?
In the backyard, no. I just started, Dad bought a pony and we sort of started like happy hacking, if you like, you know, and then we sort of got more ambitious and wanted to do more things, and so we sort of joined the pony club, and I didn't really like the pony club until the games, you know, and then I really did enjoy the games.
It's a bit more fun.
Yeah, I mean, even at Hoy's this year, you know, I go in and watch it and it's really exciting, so and then when we started jumping, that's when my jumping career took off, because that's just what I wanted to do.
And at the start of your professional show jumping career with obviously the BSJA, what height was the first pony you competed in registered affiliated show jumping?
Yeah, it was 12'2". Yeah, that's what we started with. I was in 10 unders to start with, but I was very lucky. I had good ponies throughout my life, and yeah, I was very lucky and was quite successful to start with. So, but I did get some good ponies, so it helped.
Excellent. And what was your favourite pony out of all the ones you had going through the rankings?
So I say I had quite a few good ones, but the one that sort of sticks out in my mind's got to be my 12'2", Victory Bay. He wasn't my first pony, but he was my first pony that sort of gave me a lot of success and took me to Hoy's, and he won a lot of championships, and he just had the heart of a lion. He was a wee cracker, you know, and I still sort of followed his career, and we sold him to do 12'2s after I was out of 12'2s. He went on to be good, and then he was 26, and when I heard last, and he was doing riding for disabled. So
oh, fantastic!
It's really nice to hear that they're going on, and he was a great pony, fantastic.
Yeah. And what would you say was your greatest achievement while you were a junior?
Not too sure actually. Represented Scotland in the Scottish teams. It always means a lot, and won gold a couple of times, and I won a big derby in Wales on 14'2", and that was a good victory. Yeah.
Especially when you're away from home as well.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of travelling to do, but yeah, when you go so far away and do well, it makes a difference, you know.
Makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And can you tell me, were you a funded rider when you were competing in juniors?
No, never really until now, you know. Luckily we've got SEA. They do a great job of. I've been sort of getting funding from John, who I'm here today for, and I've been on it for 4 years now, and I think it's excellent. I think John's a great trainer. You know, I really look up to him. I think he's a fantastic trainer, and every time I bring my horses here, I just always feel like I'm learning something new, and the horses are learning, and yeah, it's really good, and it's what Scottish riders need, and I think it's great to see Scottish riders are improving all the time, and it's really good when you go down to Hoy's now, and you know there's a lot of good riders doing well at Hoy's, you know.
Yeah.
So
And can you tell me what's the best thing about being a funded rider? You're talking about working with the likes of John and all the other top coaches that are brought in. Is there anything else?
No, I mean, it's, as I say, it's good. I really like coming to John, you know. It's the main thing I like about being funded is the training, you know, and you know, you can never stop learning, you know, no matter how old you are or whatever. And I just hope they keep it up, you know. It's a great opportunity and helps everyone, you know.
Excellent. And who and what would you say has helped you get to the stage you're at today?
Number of people throughout my life, really. I mean, obviously my family. My dad's great and does. I couldn't be here without him. But when I started horses, I went for training with Paul Barker, and I was there a year, and I learned so much with Paul, and I think he's a fantastic rider. Him and his mother taught me, and I think he came on a lot there, and I think that's really where my sort of career started off. You know, it was down to them, and it's actually good to hear another Scottish riders just started working with Paul. Josie Smith, who's a very good rider just now, but he will learn a lot at Paul's, and I think it's great for Scottish show jumping. You know, there's going to be a lot of stars in the future, I think.
And have you always ridden professionally since you left school and worked with horses, or were there any other possible career paths that you were thinking about going down or that you did for a short while?
Yeah, well, when I first started in horses, when I first left school, really, I always wanted to do horses, but I decided to work for my dad, who owns a building company. I wanted to work for him for 6 months, just in case when I went away and worked with the horses, you know, in case it didn't work out, I had something to fall back on. But
very sensible.
Yeah, but I didn't really like it that much. I mean, it's good to work for him, but it's a stressful job. But I always wanted to do horses, and then I got the opportunity to go to Paul's, and yeah, it took off from there.
Do you have time for any hobbies?
Not really. Horses takes up all my life, really.
Do you do anything in particular to unwind or to forget about a bad day?
Get on another horse. That's about it. No. I'm always round horses 24/7 every day of the year. You know, it does take over your life, but I love it. It's what I do, and I mean, I'll go on holiday maybe once a year, but that's about it.
And what would you say is a typical day in the life of Scott Brash? Where do you begin?
Just start off mucking out, as everyone does. Nobody likes doing it, so it's very easy to say, oh, I've got some grooms, let them do it, but you know, if everyone mucks in it, you know, I think it just helps out, you know. So I help them in the morning, and then I start riding, and basically ride all day, every day, till, you know, the grooms start at 8 and finish at 5:30. So, but I mean, even after 5:30, you know, my sister, she's an accountant, and she's got horses. So after work, she comes home, then goes back down at night and rides. So we're down there till 8:30, 9 every night, you know.
There's an awful lot of dedication involved.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a lot of people say I'm mad. A lot of people get maybe a wee bit grumpy at me that I don't spend enough time, but it's what I do.
I'm sure it's worth it.
Yeah, it seems to be. It's paid off this year anyway, so keep working hard.
As you're saying, obviously this year has been a major year for you. You're just out of young riders, you're breaking through now into the big bad adult world of show jumping. You had tremendous success this year at Hoy's, winning both the 7-year-old championship and the Fox Hunter championship on different rides. Would you say that has been the tip of your career iceberg this year?
I'd probably say so, yeah. Hoy's is a great show, and it's one I always work towards every year, and I'm lucky enough to have a lot of good young horses, you know. And I always, like the month before Hoy's, I sort of get them ultra fit. They're fitter than ever. I just try and get them spot on for Hoy's, and it's paid off this year. It paid off the year that Sinet won. So yeah, it's it's the show you want to do well at with young horses, which is what I've got as young horses, you know.
And what is your ultimate ambition? You've got Hoys under your belt, but is there a big prize or dream that you have that you're working to?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very easy to say everyone's working for the Olympics, but it's, you know, it can be out of reach. But you know, yeah, it's one of my dreams. I'd really love to do it, and yeah, it's really what I'm wanting to do, you know.
Aside from competing professionally, do you buy and sell horses and ponies?
Not so much. I'm not a dealer, but we seem to be collecting too many, so I could do with selling a few. We started a breeding programme 4 years ago because it's too expensive to go out and buy horses these days, you know, that are sort of ready-made. So we've always bought young horses or bred horses, and we produce them and you know, bring them to a high level. And yeah, we do need to sell some to keep funding the rest. You know, it's a hard game, you know. Unless you've got a lot of money, you can't just go out and buy a ready-made one. You have to work hard and get the young ones and put a lot of time and effort into them.
So for dealing purposes and for your show jumpers, do you go just down to England and up here in Scotland to buy, or do you ever travel across to the continent?
Yeah, we've travelled across the continent before. It was actually my dad and my sister that went over to Belgium, and they picked Sinet, who won the 6-year-old in 2005, I think. So, but yeah, so we have been abroad. And yeah, it's just sort of all over, wherever you can find a good horse, you know.
And do you favour a particular stud's bloodlines, or is there a place you would go straight away that would come to mind if you were looking for a new horse?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's very easy to go by bloodlines these days, but it doesn't mean everything, you know. A lot of people just pick the bloodlines, but it can help, you know. But no, I mean, a good horse, and that's it really, you know.
And are you a thoroughbred man, or do you prefer your warm bloods? What breeding type would you go for?
I'd say nearly every horse I've got is warm blood, or horses with bred. So yeah, not thoroughbreds really, but.
And what would you say is your main attraction to a young horse? What are you looking for when you're buying?
You look for everything really. You look for a careful horse, you look for a scopy horse, you know, to jump Grand Prix. You look for a very good brain in a horse. You know, you need to have a good level-headed horse, you know. You can't get, I mean, at the same time, Shutterfly is one of the best in the world. It's a hot horse, you know, got a hot brain, but I look for ones you can work with that, you know, are easy to work with and listen to you and make the job easier. But yeah, they've got to be scopy, careful, brave. They've got to have everything these days to cope with the tracks that they're building. Everything's a lot lighter these days, so you need a more careful horse, but it's big as well, so you need scopy and brave horses, so you need everything, yeah.
Fantastic. And do you find it easy to go out and get a youngster and work on it yourself, or do you ever just go out and try and get a made horse that you can go out and compete on tomorrow?
No, as I say, I mean, to go out and get a horse that you can compete at the big classes tomorrow is just not practical, you know. People would be paying hundreds of grand.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's just impossible. So, as I say, we breed our horses, or if not, buy a very young horse and work hard and try and get it to a good level, you know.
Is there any other trade secrets that you would like to share with the viewers watching at home at the moment? What are your top tips?
I don't know, I think hard work and dedication, really. You know, it's the same as any sport, you know. The harder you work, the more you achieve out your sport, I think. But yeah, say work hard and train well.
Well, I think your hard work has obviously paid off this year with Hoys, Scott.
Yeah.
Thanks very much to Scott Brash.